look for are strong stocks where I'm looking for continuation. So the first name is AEP, and it's exactly from last week's prep, guys. This is the same idea, the same name, and the same the exact same thing I said last week, and that's it needs to break over this 101. What did I write down? 101.60ish. Let's just call it 101.60. You can see I have that alert set there. If it can break above that, then the game plan is buy dips on the retest of this trend line, right? So any break over 101.70, 101.80, looking to buy a dip back into like 101, 100, play against that psychological level, because I think this thing can get a big move up. The next name on this list is APA. So I'm looking two different ways on this one. A flush to 38, which is a pretty significant level. How far back I got to go for it, but let me look at a weekly real quick. Yeah, the weekly 20 is going to be right in that 38 area. What I like about, if we get the scoop on 38, what I like about this is if it flushes down here to 38 and we don't break below this 36, just call it 36, and then this turns, then you're getting a higher low on the weekly chart as well. And then the break up above this 43.50 area is much more significant. But if we don't get the flush down to 38, I will look for this thing to break above this 43. I got to see what I wrote down. 43.50? Yeah. So I need to break over 43.50, and then I'm looking to rebuy the dip and join trend on this. No, like exactly the same as AEP, right? Same thing. Break out of the flag and then a retest so I can get long. But yeah, I like this APA chart. It's in an energy sector, so again, we're focusing on long opportunities in sectors where the money's rotating into, or it still has a bullish, intact, long-term trend going. It should be no surprise, like most of these charts that are in this section of the prep are trading less than 10% below their 52-week highs. That tells you a lot about the strength of something. We're in a bear market, and these things are still up at their highs. All right. Next name, and this is the one I told you about. I have a utilities name on watch. It's Duke, and I can already tell you right now, Simon in the chat is probably going, Ricky, I thought you said you don't like trading Duke. I like this setup. All right. So with Duke here, either scoops off 107.50. You can see we have a lot of lows down there. You see all these wicks, right? Every time the stock flushes down to these levels, they're buying it back up. And so I want to be a buyer down there into 107.50 or the break of 111. And then I'd like to join trend on a retest of about 110. That's where I would look to get it. So over 111, where did 111 come from? It's this high right here. Can even draw a circle for you. So break over this high. In fact, let's go ahead and set the alert as well so I don't freaking miss this. Again, I don't know where this copy price thing came from. So I need at least 11 cents over that whole dollar to really tell me that it broke above 111 with any sort of conviction. I want to know at least by next Saturday what it can expire. And I'll just say long trigger, buy dips. Okay? That's how we do it. And I actually, you know what? I need to have this alert down here too. I'm going to put, let's see, right there. Sorry, usually I have all my alerts set. And in fact, for the rest of the prep, if there's no alert there, I'll just do it later on my own time so I don't waste your guys'. So 107.50 scoop on an emotional flush off the open on Monday, or a break over 111, and I'm looking to buy a dip back into like 110. Looking to buy dips and join trend, meaning, I want to see higher lows. That way I have defined risk. I don't want to just buy a retest into 110 and not know where I'm risking against. All right, and then the last name in this sector is PFE. It's Pfizer. I'm looking for a retest of, you see these, I'll just draw this line for you guys so you can see these recent highs here on the daily. Just a retest of that. There's the monthly pivot. So 50.80s, 50.84 is the monthly pivot. Anywhere in that level, early flush off the open on Monday. I'm looking to scoop this name. It's been strong, been right off this, holding this trend very, very well. And now it's starting to curl and push up. I just want to get long on the dip, thinking this thing's going to push possibly up into this 56 area. I don't think it's going to be a one-day banger. I think this is going to be like a scoop. If it closes strong and I have cushion, I can leave a piece on for the swing. That's how I would treat this. So that's it for strong stocks, looking for continuation. The next section is I'm looking at oversold stocks where I'm looking for a reversion. And this is like I was saying, if you have to go long in a bear market, you better have some significant extensions downwards away from the 20-day so that we feel like, we're going to get a reversion back to levels of balance. So it should come as no surprise. The first name on this list is Walmart. Absolutely smoked. You know that there's going to be big money sniffing around, trying to figure out when they can come in and get involved on this, even if it's just for a near-term trade. I don't know if funds are trying to come in here and initiate long-term long positions on Walmart or not. It's not for me to know and not for me to care about, but there will be big money interested in this. It's a very, very significant move down, especially for them. So there's two different things I'm thinking here. Either playing against Friday's lows, last week's lows, with defined risk, but I am not writing off the fact that this could come down to 110s. You guys see this level here? I can just draw this straight across so you can, no, hold on 1 second. I got to zoom in to get, there we go. You can see where that level came from, right, guys? So a retest of that would be the next level. If we don't hold last week's lows, I'm looking for 110s. The lower, the better on these kinds of things, guys. Again, it's very, very important for me to point this out, is that I'm not trying to catch a falling knife. I want to see something to risk against. We already have, if you look at Friday, so here's what I'm looking at. This 118.58 was the quarterly pivot. Look at what happened on Thursday and Friday. Thursday, test, test. Friday, test, test, test. Broke below, test below, resistance, resistance. We got back above it. This 118.58 level is key. If that firms up, if I see this thing push 120, 119.50 and flush back to this 118.50 level and they start to buy it off that, I'm probably going to get long off that level. That's been a key level. And, you can just treat it as an over-under. If it can't hold, you can just kick it, or you could size your position so that you're risking against Friday's lows. If it loses Friday's lows, again, I'm looking for the 110. If you don't want to trade Walmart and you'd be more comfortable trading Target, you just trade in that 118.50 level for 156. Same thing happened, except it was on Wednesday where you got the test, below it, test, got below it, underside of it, resistance, 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 resistance. We clear back above 156, I'm going to look for it to firm up. So both Target and Walmart have the same pretty much daily chart. Got smoked on their earnings, way off that 20-day. You got to think there's probably a lot of meat on this bone. I want to be there for some of it at least. Last name on this section is KHC, Kraft Heinz. So this got brought down because the sector was weak because of Walmart and Target, right? But the thing is, and make sure you guys understand, this long trade idea that you're seeing here was an old idea that was caused by this setup right here, right? If you guys are in true trade, you probably know about this setup, the pullback, intermediate high, higher low, the trigger, and it went to the target. But I leave these things on my chart so I can go back and see them at later times. So therefore, that's why it's still on my chart. I'm not trying to illustrate that trade, or that's not part of the idea. But when you start to look at it on the weekly chart, where has this pullback gone to? It went right back to the trigger area from that long setup. That was a swing long. Now we just retested that breakout level where the trigger happened. So I'm very, very interested in this name. And typically you won't find me putting a name with a $1.27 ATR on my list because I need range for intraday trades. There's not a lot of range on this name, but what's the possibility here, guys? If we put this on risking Friday's lows, or maybe we buy it off a test of the 200 or the annual. There's so many things in this level, right? 200-day annual pivot, monthly 20, retested the breakout level. Lots of stuff in here, right? So if I'm going to try to play this against Friday's lows, my thought process is that if this closes strong and I have cushion, this is very much so lending itself to a possible swing trade. So if I get a position on come Monday and this thing starts to move up, I'll lock in my profits, have some cushion, and have a piece left over that's sized for a swing trade for a push back up into some higher levels like that 42 area. So that's the idea on Kraft Heinz. All right, so now we're going to get into the short ideas. The first short setup I'm looking at is Dash. So I'm looking